We stayed in the cabin in Lofoten. Sarah started to feel sick then, to the point where we were worried that she would get sick.
Yeah,
so
right.
that's when we told the girls when we were in Lofoten, and you'll get to see that footage because it's amazing. I think it was the best reaction they've ever had to anything in our entire lives. It was so moving.
And given the amount of times those kids have had to do fake reactions, that must be some sort of miracle to be the best one you've ever had. But also, at the same time, very sad to think that you think in terms of how good their reactions are. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to the main event, the one that everybody's been waiting for. It is the Q&A of Ingham pregnancy. So this is a story which, you know, you can take or leave, but Sarah tells it with such fervour, and she would like you to believe it. So I would just like to leave you with this before we get into it. Sarah, you expect us to believe that you didn't find out until a couple of weeks into February that you became pregnant. However, you became pregnant before you left the UK, right? So what is the first thing that you did, having, you did some very iffy things whilst away and you claim you didn't know about it. So when you found out you were pregnant and you were so, you thought, oh my God, I'm pregnant, but I've also done all this ice dipping and things like that, which could be harmful to the baby. You got straight onto the medics and you went straight for a test and a scan and everything else to find out if your baby was okay. Is that what you did, or did you in fact just carry on regardless and head on up to the top of Norway? So without further ado, please listen to Sarah's lies and take it as you wish. Take it away, Sarah and Chris. The stage is yours.
My heart was racing. I was I split my coleslaw in two because I was smiling so big, like an absolute goofball. I'm like, I can't cope. I'm going to press it. And it's like, have you done it? I'm like, no, shall I? Go on then. And it was I don't know, it was a really weird moment. But for me, it wasn't...
We're a little bit half quiet on the screen here, 1 minute.
For me, it wasn't nervous about what everyone would say, because number one, we'd made the decision. It doesn't matter what people say, it was our decision anyway. And number two, I knew mainly people were going to be lovely and supportive. But I was more nervous, is there definitely no one we need to tell before it goes online? Yeah,
that's the thing you've got to worry about. Family members ringing up and saying,
we've definitely told everyone, haven't we?
Yeah, thanks for letting me find out online.
On YouTube. I was like, we've definitely told everyone, right? And we had... Can you hear them screaming upstairs? Yeah. I don't know if you can hear. Isabel's got a boyfriend round today. Esme and I are upstairs, probably winding them up. No, they're not really. They're in their room. And Jason and Mila are upstairs with them. So if there's chaos, that's why.
Hopefully we'll be all good though.
Hopefully we'll get through this before they come back down.
Yeah, but massive thank you to everybody that sent us messages, commented, watched our video yesterday. It was something that we were really... I don't know why we were nervous about it going out, but we were a little bit nervous. But it's also the most special video we've ever made. Hands down. Thanks to Sarah's concept for that. I can't take credit for that whatsoever.
I can't take full credit. I'd seen something similar online, and we just adapted it a little bit. But when we first saw those two lines, I've been dreaming of that. I had the vision, and I wanted to execute it perfectly, and I feel like it did. And
let me just say as well, tomorrow night you're going to see when we found out that we were pregnant. We were going to boom and ahhing about whether to put that before this video, but I think that probably there's a lot of people with a lot of questions, so we feel like this video is going to be better to go out before that video does. But we did film obviously our reaction of finding out that we were pregnant.
And the girls.
We did film obviously telling the girls that we were pregnant, because it got to a stage when we were in Norway where we couldn't hide it anymore because Sarah was just very unwell.
I literally can't even cope with you saying the word. It's so many people have asked about that trip and I cannot talk about it.
You're going to get some insights on a lot of things to do with that trip and all sorts of things now, because we found out pretty early on the trip that Sarah was pregnant, and yeah, it was magic. The way we found out was magic.
Yeah,
it was
cool.
literally magical, but you'll see that tomorrow.
Yeah, so we didn't want to film that today. We didn't want to include that footage today because...
I've got that thing outside. It's just started to rain. I'm just going to go get rid of it before it gets ruined.
We knew that you guys wanted questions answering, so we thought we'd do this Q&A first. So whilst Chris is just doing that, the idea for the reveal for me was I wanted to, and I've said this on Facebook already and on Instagram as well, which we uploaded on Instagram before the vlog went live, so most of you guys already knew by the time the vlog went live. If you're not following me on Instagram, I'll pop up the details here. But yeah, I knew I wanted to do the years to celebrate not just this precious new life, but also the precious blessings that we've already got and those special years that they came into our lives. And when we were doing we weren't even planning on filming it that day, were we? It was just such a beautiful day. It turned out to be such a lovely day, and we were on the beach with Prinny.
The sun was perfect.
The sun and the lighting was just so lovely, and I'm like, we should just film it now.
Yeah.
And then Chris was like, well, you're not doing all the dates, are you? Just do the dates, so 2005, and then do 2009, and then 2012. I'm like, no, we have to show all the years that we've walked together. The line was like right up the beach, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was cool.
But it just turned out perfect.
Yeah, especially the way
really
we edited it. It was just, yeah, it's just amazing. It's the best video I've ever made by far.
Yeah. So now that we've waffled, let's get into some questions. I asked on Instagram yesterday. I know that you guys have got loads of questions, so let me know what they are, and I've screenshot a load of them. And
you do the swallow thing. It's so fun. Do you know what I find like absolutely hilarious is that just how attentive like so many of you guys are to like little tiny things that we do that we don't even notice. Like there's some things
some of them were obvious. Like loads of you guys have said you've been wearing maternity clothes. Not actually maternity clothes, but they are.
You haven't, no.
No, I haven't been wearing maternity.
At all, not even one, because we knew people watch what we wear all the time and they post it online. So Sarah's not worn anything maternity.
It's not officially maternity clothes, but it's typically what I would wear when pregnant, which is dungarees.
Okay.
So there's things like that are obvious, and I even said to Chris, I can't wear these, everyone's gonna know. And then I was like, do you know what, I don't care, I need to be comfortable. So there's obvious ones that we knew would give the game away, but then there's not so obvious ones, like this comment here. We knew it. You do this swallowy thing when you've got pregnancy sickness, and I noticed in your vlogs when you were in Norway, can't say it, and I thought, oh my gosh. So basically you noticed me swallowing when we were travelling, and I remember actually saying I had a meltdown when I was vlogging one day. I burst out crying. I'm like, I can't do this, I'm gonna be sick, everyone's gonna know, because I was trying to vlog whilst trying to stop morning sickness, or should I say all day sickness. And I do constantly swallow. Like I'm constantly swallowing because I don't know, it's just it's what happens when you're about to be sick.
Try doing a meet and greet event. Not only hiding a bump under the biggest maxi dress possible, which thankfully nobody actually cottoned on. One person did.
No, they didn't. I told some.
Yeah, because they asked and you said, yeah.
No, they asked if we were going to have any more.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Okay,
they asked if you were going to have any more children.
We managed to cover that well by Sarah standing very, very still in the place she was in and wearing a big maxi dress, but she felt rancid all day. So she was a trooper that day. I can't believe you got through it, to be fair.
I wasn't actually sick that day.
No, you weren't.
Right, should we get into some questions? Because we started talking again. Let's get into some questions. Probably the most asked question we've got is, when are you due? How far along are you? Now, I look, this is no joke, about 6 months pregnant.
Yeah, which is weird.
We've had multiple scans because I'm like, there's got to be 2 in there. There's not, there's 1. But I genuinely do look about 6 months pregnant. I think this happened with Mila. I'm sure I was huge with Mila, but then when I got to about 20 weeks, I just kind of
just leveled off,
just stayed the same for quite a while, and I'm hoping that's what's going to happen this time because it's no joke. Like I look not even 6 months, I look about 8 months.
No, but I do. You are like your belly is like it's like
massive,
big and rock hard, and yeah, definitely bigger than 15 weeks.
But I'm actually 15 weeks.
I'm just giving the game away.
I am 16 weeks in a few days, so I'm 15 and a half weeks, and we're due mid-October. So a few people guessed that already. Although someone guessed August, which is 2 months earlier.
Oh yeah.
So, That's the due date, and that's how many weeks I am. This one.
Do you know the gender yet? No, we don't, but we are finding out very soon.
We actually, with this pregnancy, we debated a little bit, didn't we? Should we not find out? With the 3 girls, we didn't find out until the birth. And then with Jason and Mila, we found out. So we kind of had the experience of not finding out. We had the experience of finding out with a boy. And we had the experience of finding out with a girl. This is the last one. And we were like, should we wait until the end? A few people have actually said that Jay slipped up and said brother in the vlog a few nights ago. He didn't.
Go back and watch that sounds like that, but...
No, I watched it back. What he said was, will these batteries last forever? And then I said, we might have to change them. But someone thinks, loads of people think he said, will this be for my brother or something like that?
We've not discussed that with Jace whatsoever, so you wouldn't know that. And we don't know the sex anyway.
He would never use the term brother because he wants a girl. Yeah. Every time we ask him, he's like, it's a girl. And we're like, it could be a boy. And he's like, I don't want a boy.
It's like, but it's not just like he doesn't want a boy. He's like, he's adamant. He won't even entertain the fact of getting a brother ever.
No. So he would never use the term brother, ever. Anyway, we did debate, in fact, so much so that we've actually had this that we bought ages ago, and we've had this for a week now in the house, and we've still not took it. We've still not done the blood test and sent it off.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it on camera, though. We're going to do it maybe tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we are going to find out, just because I feel like in life, I know some people say there's not many real surprises, but it doesn't make the surprise any less. Finding out before birth.
No, you still got the
surprise.
What they look like and meeting them.
And I feel like, yeah, exactly. I feel like at the birth, it's already such a big adrenaline and amazing time that you, in my opinion, I don't feel like you also need the gender.
And I also feel like I want to bond. I want to know whether it's a boy or a girl so I can bond like with the idea of having a boy or a girl kind of thing. I've liked that with Jason Mila.
Yeah, I was about to say we've done both. We've experienced both and we preferred knowing. And that's just our preference. There's loads of questions asking if... Well, there's loads of people actually presuming we want a boy for Jace, or presuming that Jace would want a brother, which is hilarious because he doesn't want a brother. I thought he would, but no, he wants a sister. But probably because that's what he knows. He wouldn't know baby boys.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of questions asking if me or Chris would prefer a boy or a girl. I have actually switched. I switched about 5 times. One minute I think I'd really like this to be a boy. It'd be so nice for Jace to experience having a brother. It'd be nice for him to grow up and have, you know, someone that I'll have a lot in common with him, hopefully. And it'll just be nice to have another boy. And then a week later I'm like, no, actually, the age gap between Mila and Isla is the same as the age gap between Isla and Isabel. And whilst Isla and Isabella love each other so much and they do stuff together, they don't massively have lots in common because there's quite a big age gap between them two. Which
give it a couple of years, you know, they won't want to know each other really much. You know,
well, they'll just have different...
I don't know. It won't be like... They won't have like a close camaraderie where they go out together.
No, they can go out together because Isabella will be like going out to whatever she wants to. There's a big age gap basically between Isla and Mila. So it'd actually be nice for Mila to have a sister to grow up with. And I don't know, honestly, people are presuming that we've tried again for a boy. We haven't. We genuinely haven't. I don't care if it's a boy or a girl. If it's a girl, actually, we've got a name. We've got clothes from Mila. We've got loads of positives, whereas if it's a boy, we've got no name and no clothes.
We've got no name.
No, I have. You just need to give in.
No, we're not giving in.
I'm carrying the child.
I'm so full. I'm not giving in to that name.
You are giving in. Everyone in the family, the girls are obsessed with this name. I love the name. And Chris is like, no.
Nope.
Mate, you want to call him Brian?
Why are you giving away my choice? That's supposed to be secret. Shall I give yours away now? Yeah, I'm Brian, I'm what?
Yeah, but mine is probably going to happen. Yours is definitely not.
Anyway, no, look, I'm not going to call obviously my baby Brian.
There's pros and cons to both, and we'll love it either way. We don't, obviously, and we genuinely don't care.
We tried for this one because we wanted basically Jace and Mila to have a trio, like the older girls have had a trio. And also, if it's a girl, yeah, it'll be fantastic for Mila to have a sister that's close in her age. If it's a boy, it'll be fantastic for Jace to have a brother that's close to his age.
There's no better.
If it's a boy though, Mila's already like semi-tomboy sort of thing. She's a rough and tumble thug is what she is. Yeah. So if it's a boy, then Mila's hands, she's going to be the biggest thug tomboy ever. But it's great.
Necessarily.
No, not necessarily, but you know, I'm really joking. But it's but we don't care basically whatsoever.
We really don't care. A boy would be amazing and a girl would be amazing. We don't mind. Lots of people have actually asked if this was planned and like not how.
That's a random
like, is it planned basically? Was it planned?
Yeah, it was planned, yeah.
Absolutely. So it was planned, and also what made you change your mind? Because obviously I didn't want any more after Mila.
She never had, like, she always wanted one more.
No, I didn't. I genuinely didn't.
She just needed tipping over the balance.
No, Chris is wrong there. Chris is wrong. I'm going to answer this as 2 questions, actually, because a lot of people said, did you always imagine having a bigger family? So,
I'm really out of focus for some reason. Is that better?
I genuinely, and I know Chris thinks different, but I am being genuinely serious. I did not want another child after Mila. I was done. 100% done. And I think the time when I started to change my mind was literally about 4 weeks before I fell pregnant. Because I fell pregnant this time very, very quickly. We decided end of December that we would stop preventing pregnancy, and I got pregnant in January, so it was very quick. We're very, very lucky. But I think the time that I kind of changed my mind and thought, okay, fine, maybe one more, maybe it would be quite nice for Mila and Jace, maybe it would be nice for 2 trios, was when Esme made me a video.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Esme made me a video.
So cute.
Because I always said, like, I'd always take into consideration what the children want as well, and the girls, everyone was always like up front of the sibling, and Esme was always a bit reserved, wasn't she? She was always a bit like, I'm not sure, do you think? And I was like, I don't know, it kind of put me off as well. But then Esme changed her mind, and she just one day come to me and said, Mum, I've made you this video, watch.
That was when she was watching, she'd been watching videos of Jace from 2020.
Was it?
When we went to Portugal.
Have we still got the video?
Somewhere. Yeah, Esme will have it, I think. If I've got the video, it'll be in this video. I'll show you it now.
It's so cute. It's literally the cutest thing ever. Anyway, once I'd watched that video, I was like...
Esme made a video to persuade Mum that another sibling was actually a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't need persuading at that point.
Yeah. If the video's not been shown, it basically stemmed from her having a fear of sickness, basically, and obviously she knows that I suffer with that.
Her reluctance for Sarah to get pregnant again.
Yeah. So that's basically when I changed my mind. Did you always want a big family? Because growing up, I feel horrible saying it because I've got a big family, but I genuinely didn't expect or want to have a big family. I thought we'd have, like, when me and Chris first got together, we always said it'd be so cool to have 3 girls. And then we got the 3 girls. And we were done.
Yeah, for sure. But then, definitely, and then, but back then, you know, our lives were not what they are now. We were not, like, financially stable and all the rest of it. And so I didn't even consider a bigger family then because, you know, we couldn't pay for the one we had, kind of thing. And I mean, we could, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't have wanted to extend it anymore. But with the space and all the rest of it, and I don't know, it just became something that I wanted over time. Yeah,
Chris is right. When we with the 3 girls, it wasn't that we'd never wanted a bigger family. It was just never something that was reachable for us. We'd have had to change house because they wouldn't have fit in the bedrooms. We'd have had to change car because a 5-seat wouldn't work anymore.
We couldn't afford to do stuff like that back then.
And we couldn't afford to do stuff back then. It's one thing we've always said is that YouTube and the biggest gift you guys have given us is the Jace and Mila and this baby, because it's enabled us to have a bigger house, it's enabled us to have a bigger car, and it's been enabled us to be able to afford to have more children.
Yeah.
Next question is, where will the baby sleep? Will you guys have to move house?
No, we won't have to. This house, there's 9 bedrooms total, and we're only using 6 of them at the minute, so we've got room for another 3 kids, right? If we get rid of the wardrobe room.
6.
Yeah. So we're using 6 right now. So we've got 9 bedrooms total.
So basically, there's 9 bedrooms in this house. There's 7 in the main house, and then there's 2 converted rooms. But the 2 converted rooms are huge. They're like Isabel's and Esme's room on the top floor. So yeah, we do have 7 bedrooms in the main house, and then we do have another 2 converted rooms that are massive. They're like as big as Isabel's and Esme's room. So they're really, really huge rooms. That we don't use them as bedrooms, but they could be used as bedrooms if we needed to. But aside from that, we also have a walk-in wardrobe room, which is not actually a walk-in wardrobe room. It's a double huge bedroom.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
That we just use as a walk-in wardrobe room. But all that necessarily means is there's wardrobes in there. Doesn't mean that you can't fit a king-size bed as well, or a cot, or turn it into a nursery.
Exactly.
If we wanted to. So we do have plenty of space for more children. And this baby. But actually, I think if this baby's a boy, it will share with Jace, and if it's a girl, it will likely share with Mila to grow up. Do you think that? I think it'd be nice for them to share.
Yeah, when they're young. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when they're young, yeah, definitely.
Like Jace's age now. Like 3, 4, 5. I think it'd be nice for them to share a bedroom.
And as obviously Esme and Isla did. Esme and Isabel did.
Yeah. So it could have its own bedroom, like next door to our room. But actually, I think I quite like the idea of them sharing. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Hopefully that answers that. So lots of you guys already kind of guessed because of Chris saying the van's going. And the Range Rover's going because it's only 7 seats.
Yeah, for real.
I didn't know you'd filmed that.
Yeah, I'm not selling the van for that reason. I'm not selling the van for this reason. So basically, van life update is what there's so many questions on. There's so many people that obviously follow us now for our van adventures, which is amazing. Thank you so much. Van life update. Van life is not over. Obviously, we have just bought that big RV, which is on the drive now. Our travel plans for this year before the baby comes are in that big beast. So the Sprinter, is not going to get used at all. In fact, it's probably in all likelihood going to sit on the drive until at least next year doing nothing.
No, not even next year. Like 2 or 3 years probably.
For a while, we've got kind of like a 2-year plan going on right now, which is jam packed basically, and it's going to take us. It's not going to get used basically much, so it's going to sit on the drive and rot basically, which is really sad. Van life for this year certainly is going to be big old van life. Which we're really excited. Oh my god, we've got some incredible ideas for we are going on a nice juicy trip in that, and some other little things going on. That's going to be amazing. Can't wait to show you that properly. But the Sprinter's going basically because if not, it's going to sit and rot for a while, and we don't want that to happen to it. I want it to go to a family that's going to love it and going to take it on adventures.
It is really sad. I want to get rid of the Sprinter because I just know that when we've got a caravan and the big RS and the big cat all on the drive, it's just too much. And like Chris said, it is just going to go to waste.
Yeah,
just sat there.
It is. It's just some, it's insurance, that we're paying for no reason.
For no reason.
Blah, blah, blah. But it's not about that. It's just the fact that it is going to rot and it needs looking after, and I'm not going to be able to look after it very much this year. So
it's the right decision. It's like the Range Rover.
Yeah.
We kept the Range Rover because you just didn't want to get rid of it. But 2.5 years later, it's still just sat there.
Back in 2007, when the Range Rover I've got is a 2007 model, and when I bought it, late 2006, 2007, whatever it is.
No, 2017.
No,
when you
it's
bought
not.
it.
Yeah, when I bought it. Yeah.
You said when to. Oh.
Sorry. So when I bought that Range Rover, basically, I've always wanted that shaped Range Rover since me and Sarah met, because they were just a lot of, I don't know, I just loved them from back when we met. So I always wanted one for nostalgia reasons in my head. And when YouTube, became a thing and I could afford to buy one or whatever, I loved it. So it's always been my little project because I've done a lot to it. I've souped it up, tuned it up, done all sorts of stuff to it. It doesn't sound like a Range Rover anymore. It sounds like a monster.
Sounds like a tractor.
It sounds like a monster. It's a good noise. It's not a tractor noise. How many times do we have to have this discussion? Anyway, basically, it's a beast. But I don't. And again, it's just going to sit on the drive and rot. So and it is doing. It's going to rot if I leave it. So that's why we're selling the Range Rover. It's got 7 seats still. So could it fit us? No. So when the baby's here, it can't even fit us anyway. So don't know where this question was going, but that's the van life update. The van life for this year for 23 is big bad boy RV life, and it's going to be epic. And
just really quickly, very quickly before we move on from this question, the van, it's not like necessarily the van, you won't fit in the van anymore, because I mean technically
I could easily tweak it.
We could tweak it. We could definitely tweak it. You can get bunk beds for over the seats in the front, and that would easily fit us all still. It's not necessarily about that. It's about like being more comfortable in it for longer trips and things like that. And why would we take something smaller that we're not going to be as comfortable in when we've got such a nice big van that we've bought to use for travelling? And I know like lots of people be saying, well, Isabel's 18 this year, and next year she'll be 19 and she might be off with a boyfriend and she wants to do her own thing, which is true, but I never want Isabel to feel like she can't come because there's no space for her. I don't ever want her to feel like, but I'd really like to come, but you're going in the van and there's not really much space for me. So it just makes sense to do that now. But
like I said, we've definitely not dropped the Sprinter journey. That's all I'm going to say for now.
No, we have. You're talking utter... He's talking utter rubbish about that. Okay, how have you functioned so well during early pregnancy? Travelling must have been so hard. I genuinely... This was the hardest pregnancy I've ever had. I've always said Isla's was the hardest. I don't like using the worst, but the hardest pregnancy I've ever had. I was so ill with Isla. This one has been something else, hasn't it?
So it was that bad when we were away that she can't physically still even talk about the trip.
I can't.
Even though the trip was the best trip of our entire lives. We all know that, and we all agree that for fact, and it was the best time ever.
Just the mention of it.
From Nordkapp, so from Nordkapp, after Nordkapp, down, which kind of lucky that it was kind of on the way back down, but from there onwards, it was just deadly for Sarah. And I feel so bad for her.
It was actually it was actually at 7 weeks when we were in that cabin, that first cabin, when you guys all went on the snowmobiles, but I was just all day at that cabin.
Oh yeah, sorry, so that was still after Lofoten. Sorry, that was after Nordkapp though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course it was.
It was after Nordkapp. So it was after Nordkapp, Sarah had like, before Nordkapp, when we were in Lofoten, so when we crossed from Sweden into Lofoten, we stayed in the cabin in Lofoten, Sarah started to feel sick then, to the point where we were worried that she would get sick.
Yeah,
so
right.
that's when we told the girls when we were in Lofoten, and you'll get to see that footage because it's amazing. I think it was the best reaction they've ever had to anything in our entire lives. It was so moving. You'll see that. But that was when Sarah started to feel ill, and we had to tell the girls because she was starting to feel ill. And then we got to Nordkapp. So luckily we managed to complete the full trip, and we got to the top. And it was after Nordkapp, when we came down to that first campsite after Nordkapp, that Sarah just went south.
It was a couple of weeks though, in the van. It was a couple of weeks.
Well, we had a couple of weeks after then in the van before we got home.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It was genuinely really difficult, guys. Yeah. It was genuinely really difficult. I think especially because I was very conscious of Esme and Isla, who have a phobia of sick. And even though they comforted me and was like, it's fine, and we know we're totally fine, don't worry. There was nowhere for me to go. You know, I couldn't just jump out the van and start doing it at the side of the road. That's gross.
I mean, you did a couple of times.
I mean, I didn't have a choice when you were driving. I was like, stop, pull over now.
When we pulled up at the hotel in Rovaniemi in Finland, the whole place was just this beautiful white snow everywhere.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We pulled up outside our cabin, our little hotel room apartment, and Sarah just literally threw her head out of the window and just ruined the snow everywhere. It was just bright orange from the Fanta she drunk like 20 minutes ago.
No, it wasn't Fanta. That was just pure stomach acid. But the funniest thing is you jumped out and run around and you're holding my hair because it was going everywhere. But at the same time I was holding my hair, you're kicking the snow to try and cover it up.
Covering it up with snow, like, oh, someone's going to notice.
Oh, honestly, I don't physically know how I coped because...
And then we got ill. And then you had morning sickness, and then we were all ill with this awful flu as well.
I didn't get the flu.
Oh no, you didn't actually.
I didn't get it. But I was so ill already. My body would have just gone kaput.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult vlogging and pretending that... Because I kept saying, we need to announce it, we're going to have to, I can't cope, I literally cannot cope. There was so many days where I was just crying. I'd be crying, I'd stop crying, I'd vlog, and then I'd put the camera down and start crying again. And it wasn't even because, it sounds so selfish when I say that, like I'm going through like such an amazing experience and something that so many women are desperate to go through. But I don't think unless you suffer with hyperemesis, you can possibly understand how it affects you, even just mentally. Because it was constant through the night, through the day. The second I opened my eyes, I'd well up with tears because I knew the second I'd come out of that sleep, straight away it'd hit. And I knew it wasn't going to leave me until I went back to sleep at bed at night. It was all day, every day. And I just kept saying to Chris, I feel so bad because we're on such an amazing trip right now. But I can't. I literally can't be in the van. And it was just... It was really difficult.
We wouldn't have come home as quickly as we did if it hadn't been for that, because we were still really loving life. There was more places we wanted to go and see and explore, but when we got to that campsite and Sarah got really ill, that was when we made a decision that it was time we needed to start heading home. And that's why we skipped into Finland, because Finland was kind of like on the route down anyway, and we skipped into Finland and we stayed at the hotel to have a break out of the van. Basically, that was kind of what the idea with that hotel in Finland was for Sarah. And then we had the 40-hour smashing it home kind of thing. But then we got ill, so it was just double rough.
But those few days out of the van in Finland were my worst days.
Yeah, and if you watch some videos back, you won't really see Sarah in the videos. It was me, pretty much, trying to cover up.
A few people have said that that's how they knew I was pregnant, because you took over the vlogs, because I just physically could not do it. And even when we got home, it was still really difficult. But at the same time, and this question is dragging on for ages, but at the same time, vlogging actually did give me a focus on something to do. So I kind of liked vlogging as well, because it'd make me get up, get ready, do my hair, put my makeup on. I mean, makeup never lasted long, did it? No. I'd vlog something and then I'd have to run to the toilet and then makeup would be all down my face. I have to reapply it 5 times a day. Thankfully, only in the last 2 weeks or so,
simmered down.
It's simmered down. And I'm still sick most days, but usually now I'll be sick and then I'll be all right. Whereas before it was I'll be sick and then I'd have to crawl back in a pit because I just felt like it was a constant. So yeah, it was really blooming hard. Chris is just getting some water. I did actually film a few updates. It sounds so pathetic, but I cannot edit them videos because... Has anyone else ever had this? Comment down below, because it happened with the others. This time it's severe, but I think it's because of how severe the morning sickness was. I can't think about that time. I can't go in the van. I had to use the van when we got home because our car was in for its MOT. I didn't want to go out because I thought of just stepping into the van made me want to... It physically made me want to be sick.
That's not why we're selling it though.
No, that's not why we're selling it, but...
Because you'll get over that.
Like even now talking about it, it makes me feel so bad. And I don't know why. It's some sort of like, what would you call it?
It's post-traumatic stress. I don't know.
I mean, that probably sounds a bit extreme, but it is like that. It's like, I can't edit the videos. I filmed an update. We did videos in Norway and I can't even edit them because I can't bring myself to do it.
You will see them though, I'll do them. I'll be doing them.
Do you think the age gaps between the kids are too big? Yeah, that's why we've ended up with so many. Well, like the age gap between Isla, you know, now we've got Jace. Well, now we need another one because Jace needs a playmate because of the age gap. And now we're like, here we are again. But I wouldn't change it at all. I think the 3 girls, I think it's really nice, the age gaps between the 3 girls. Isabel's obviously the oldest, and then we've got Esme, and Esme's right in the middle, but it's really nice because Esme has things in common with Isabel, so they'll like have things in common together, and then Esme also has things in common with Isla, so then they'll do stuff together. And then Isabel and Isla, they just love each other, don't they? They get along really well. Yeah. Really, really well. So yeah, I do think the age gaps are big, which is why we've got 3 younger and 3 older, but it's nice, isn't it, to have that gap? I think it's nice. Right, there's a lot of questions about names, so we have a massive list of names for girls that we absolutely love, all of us.
And one in particular that we love more.
But there's one in particular that's just, we love, it's absolutely beautiful. But we do have quite a lot for a girl, and then for a boy, I think we've already touched on this. Yeah, we've got a name. No, we have got one.
We have a name.
We do. It's perfect. Even my in-laws like it, and that's saying something, because usually they're like, love it when the baby's here, but initial thoughts are usually, my in-laws love it, so.
It's not happening.
That's happening. What hair colour do you think? No idea. No idea. We've had 2. Do you know, I think the chance of having a ginger baby is 50-50, which is so right for us, because biologically we have 4 together, and 2 of them are ginger and 2 are not. So who knows what this one could be, and we really don't care. Could be beautiful mousy brown like Hyla, which is what I was when I was younger. Could be little blondie like Jace. Could be ginger like Esme and Mila. It really, really does not matter to us.
What is your birth plan?
My birth plan? Well, usually I would be saying I want an epidural because you don't get any extra medals for giving birth with that one. But actually, I've gone on a U-turn with that one. I really don't want an epidural.
You bossed it with Mila.
I bossed it with Mila. I didn't get an epidural with Mila because there wasn't much time. And they couldn't, I've got horrendous veins. And they even got, who did they get to come up?
Like
a surgeon,
doctor.
Yeah, because nobody could do it. Anaesthetic doctor to come up, and even he couldn't get it. He was like, it's not working. So it was too late. But I don't want to have the epidural this time. I would really like a water birth. With Mila, I asked them to fill up the pool, and then I sat on the bed and I was like, I don't want the pool. I can't do this. I'm not moving. Yeah. I'm going to try and stay a bit calmer this time, knowing that I'm not going to have the epidural because I wanted the epidural with Mila. Yeah. This time I'm prepared not to have it. I've done it before, I can do it again. That's my plan, but you never know. You never know with labour. You don't know which way it's going to go. Yeah. You don't know. Is this your last? Now, maybe you guys can give me some advice. I think my mind's already made up on this. I actually thought about having an elective caesarean section. I know I'm done. I know I am. And it doesn't matter. He's joking. We've had serious chats. I am 100% done, and I know I am.
I know. Yeah, it's done.
We know. We've had a serious conversation about how, you know, we've got 6 children, and it's, you know, it's splitting your time between all of them. It's been able to afford to give each one, you know, a good life, basically, and nice holidays, and you know what I mean. We definitely know it does. So I've thought about having an elective caesarean section, having my tubes removed. Has anyone done that? I think I've decided against it because I saw someone having a caesarean the other day and it terrified me. It It's not actually the cesarean that worries me, it's the aftercare. And I've heard like some people can't drive for 6 weeks, and obviously I've got 6 children, I can't really be just sat on the sofa. I mean, you do have to birth anyway for a week or 2, don't you? But not for 6 weeks. So I think the scissors on the old man is gonna be happening. Yeah, it is. And I think if I was to have my tubes removed or tied, that I would do that at a different time. So I'd just have the normal delivery.
Yeah, you do that.
Which I've been recommended to do. And then if I was to have my tubes tied, it's just like keyhole surgery. So I'd do that at a different time. Yeah, I know you're sat there saying that, but you know that everybody on this vlog right now that's watching is thinking you are an a-hole. Because I've been through 6 pregnancies, 6 labours, and it's literally an hour in and an hour out when you've had for a man to do that.
And what?
You know, you just sound like a selfish idiot.
I'm only joking. I am 100% joking. I'll do whatever Sarah wants me to do.
That's what it says behind camera, but you feel like you need to be a hard man on camera, don't you?
No, I'm joking. It's a joke. It's comedy.
Yeah, but no one thinks you're joking. You don't act like you're joking, and then everyone's going to be like, I can't believe Chris is putting her through that.
I'm just trying to cause controversy, but no, I'm being serious. I would do anything Sarah wants me to do.
He is going to do that, but double protection. I'm also getting my tubes tied, because we're definitely done after 6.
No, that's silly.
It's not.
Yeah, that's silly.
Is it? It's not 100% though, is it?
Yeah, it's 100%.
Is it 100%?
It's 100%.
If anybody's had an elective section and had their tubes tied, comment down below and let me know. I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm against. Any new cars? No, because we need a bus.
No, we don't need a new car.
Exactly.
We've still got enough seats.
I think it's got 9.
It's got 9 seats.
We'll still have a spare seat, won't we?
Yeah, we'll still have a spare seat.
We'll still have a spare seat. And we've got a huge boot. We've got a Mercedes Vito, and it's just the best family car.
I couldn't recommend I could not recommend a car more than our car for a family, like for a big family. It's amazing. 9 seats. The boot is huge.
Double pram can go in there.
And all the tents and your supboards
and everything.
You name it. It's massive. Yeah. I could stay in it. Could put another row of seats in it.
Yeah, it's a really
great car.
It's a great car, and we'll still have a spare seat even when this baby arrives, which we won't be using for anyone. But I'm just saying, how did you hide it so well? It's been hard because I'm the size of a whale. So in fact, when we've been out, some people did. I mean, you don't ask someone, do you? Are you pregnant? I mean, some people do, but there were a few looks.
Oh yeah,
a few looks.
Well, there's been a lot of dodging. Like when we've met people online, I've been kind of like stepping in front and trying to hide as best we can do, sort of thing. But whatever. It was difficult for sure. A lot of definitely no body shots. Not that we do body shots anyway. To be fair,
I know lots of people always said we knew because of the shots you've been doing. I never film full body shots because I sometimes feel insecure about how I look on camera. But either way, I think that's pretty much it.
1 minute.
Someone said, was that expensive a pasta salad box on your last trip that we literally paid like £15? Was it even £15? More than that?
It was a lot. It was expensive.
I'm sure it was like 17, literally for a pot of salad. Yeah, that was a craving, otherwise I definitely wouldn't have paid that. I was like, oh, I need to eat that right now. You know, if you're having a craving, you don't care what the price is. I mean, some people might do, but I was just like, no, I need it.
I think mostly the thing that I'm really happy about now is the fact that we can be real again, kind of thing. Not that we've not been real, but basically trying to video since we were in Norway after Nordkapp down. We've had to kind of like play down our lives. We've not been able to share our full lives with you guys because we've been hiding this.
Yeah.
So now that it's out in the open, now we can talk about it. Now we can show you everything that's been going on and tell you what's been going on. And our days filming have been very difficult because we've not been able to be honest, and we've not been able to film actually what's happening in our days because it might have revolved around the pregnancy the full day. So we've had to then film something extra on top, which has been
really hard.
BS basically.
Yeah, and it's been really hard. Like there's been days where we've had to travel for scans, and the scan's taken over the whole day, and we've wanted to spend the day talking about the scan and maybe go buy a new baby outfit or something, but we can't because we need to vlog something, and we're vlogging today, and if we do that, then we're not going to have a vlog for tomorrow, and it's been really hard that side.
I felt our videos recently have been. Some of them have been a bit sketchy and questionable, especially editing them have been a nightmare. Just because I know that the footage itself has been fit around.
We haven't actually lied. Nobody's said, "Are you pregnant?" and I've said, "No, I'm not." No. I would never ever do that. I'd just avoid the question. But it still feels like you're being deceiving, doesn't it? Do you think? Even though we've not actually lied to anybody, it still feels like we're lying.
It's because we've had this huge chunk of life that we've not been able to share with you guys, and when we're daily vlogging, like when you daily vlog, you can't hide your daily life. It's very hard, and then to not be real when so much of your day revolves around the pregnancy sort of thing. Yeah,
all the stuff that you want to film and you just can't. There's so many clips we've had to cut out because Jace is completely obsessed with the baby. He's got a name for it. Well, I'll let him tell you the name because it's adorable. But he literally comes over to my tummy about 55 times a day and says, "Babe, Mum, I'm just so excited for the baby. When's it going to come out? Is it going to be Halloween?" I told him it's Halloween just because you know, he loves Halloween and that's around the time. But he comes over and he's, you know, he's like, Mummy, I love the baby so much. When I'm vlogging, I'm like, yeah, I have to cut that. Cut that bit out.
There was that one question, and I've seen this a lot actually. How did you guys find the time in that tiny van?
I've actually seen a few questions like that.
There's been a lot. Actually,
that's so bizarre.
Sarah was long pregnant before we left.
I was pregnant before we left on the trip. I was already pregnant. We didn't know, and to be honest, I was only like, I mean, it was probably still working the way to the egg.
Look, let's just put it this way.
It was literally about 4 days before we went on the trip. Within the week that we went on the trip.
Was when you ovulated.
Was when I ovulated.
When your window of thing was.
And I conceived. But I do just want to say, obviously, this is a family channel, and there'll be nothing said here that will not be family friendly. But I do just want to say that we have teenagers, okay? And this might be okay for the people. It doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't sit right with Chris. When we go on van trips, when people are like, how do you manage to find time? We don't.
No, we don't.
Because we're parents.
We don't do it.
And that's just not something we're interested in doing when we're in a small, tiny van with our teenagers below us.
We would never, ever
do that. We would never, ever.
Never. They're dumb. If you breathe, you can't whisper about anything.
Yeah. We're an open family, I'm just going to say as well. We're an open family. I homeschool. We've done this talks before. We talk about it regularly, even. Because I don't want things like that to be a taboo subject with my children growing up. I want them to know they can come to me if they ever need help or advice, and it's something we're open about, but not that blooming open. Like, that's just straight up a line would be crossed. And that's all I'm going to say on that subject. But yeah, for people that really want to know that question about the van and when we're all cramped in a van, yeah, it's just a no. It's just a no.
And even if you work back, just because I've seen this over years, like when you got pregnant with Mila in the caravan. Yes, we were in the caravan over the summer, but Sarah didn't get pregnant with Mila whilst we were in the caravan. And we still wouldn't have done that anyway in the caravan even.
Mila? What month was it? Oh yeah, that was, yeah.
You got pregnant when we got back.
That was, yeah.
Like, we have never, and we would never do that when we're in a small space living with our children. Just to dispel those questions. Yeah, but they've been everywhere.
I know, but it's just really like, wow, that's just wow. Anyway, so, I hope that's answered all the questions that people have. Tomorrow...
You're going to do, like, Sarah Says updates? You're going to do weekly updates on Sarah Says still?
I don't know if anyone's interested in that.
They will be, for 100%.
Maybe I can
you will be. Comment below, tell her. She needs some encouragement about that, because she'll enjoy watching them back later, and she will definitely enjoy filming them, because she likes to vent about stuff like that, and I know lots of you will probably like
maybe
that.
And there's probably loads of things that I wanted to talk about in this video, but we've not got around to talking about.
And you can be more adult on Sarah Says than you can on here.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty adult.
Yeah, but you can. You don't have to worry so much about what you say on Sarah Says.
So, yeah, that's true. So, tomorrow night is going to be a very special vlog of me and Chris. I'd like to say in a cabin, but let's be honest.
Oh, shh, don't tell anyone, just wait. I say it on the video. It was magical. We were literally stuck in the middle of a blizzard, in the middle of a forest in Norway.
And it looks like we're in a beautiful
cabin. It was amazing. And we were on our own because everyone else was in the van. And me and Sarah were not in the van. We were in somewhere it was nice. You'll see tomorrow. It's a really, really gorgeous video of us finding out. And then we'll maybe include the girls' reactions as well, but I think the video will probably be too long. No, it won't.
So maybe the next day we'll do like Jason the girls' reactions.
Definitely, because that's a really special video on its own.
Yeah,
because it's a long video.
Yeah, we're going to be doing this. We probably should do this today. You know, get this sent off. My sister and a couple of my friends really want to throw me a gender reveal, so it's going to be really hard. Chris doesn't want to do it like that, do you? It's going to be really hard.
I think we might find out together from this test when it comes, because I don't think I'll be able to physically receive the email from the company and not want to look at it. So I think we'll find out together. We'll film doing that, and then the girls will find out from our friends throwing a gender party, which is what they want to do. So
normal parents find out from the gender party though.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I want to do it together, intimate. I want to do that.
So we're probably going to do that over the next day or two. We will obviously film the gender reveal. Yeah, I think that's everything.
I think you guys will find out. You guys will see us finding out the gender, but you guys probably won't know the gender until the gender reveal party,
which is like next week. Which will probably be like next week, because we're doing it straight away. Yeah, they want to do it this weekend.
Okay, and we've got something really cool planned for that as well, so that'll be awesome.
Yeah, well, we've not planned it, they have, but we know what's been planned.
Yeah, we know the gist of what's going on.
Yeah. But this is a really long video, so thank you all if you got through it. If there's any more questions, comment them down below. I'm going to probably do a smaller Q&A on Sarah Says, and if that's what you guys want to see. Thank you once again for all that.
Thank you so much. It's mad. Let's start this journey, this massive last adventure.
Yeah.
So really, really excited. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
And we'll see you tomorrow at 5.
Bye, guys.
Thank you all so much for joining me today and listening to predominantly Sarah and a little bit of Chris. Not quite so much of me today, but I'm sure I'll be back tomorrow with a fantastic video. But please comment everything you want to comment down below. All your opinions about this situation. What do you think about Sarah and Chris and the pregnancy and all the lies which they've just spewed to us? What are your opinions? Thank you so much. Please give this video a massive thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. And I am sure to bring you more and more and more of this story as it breaks. Until next time, have a lovely day. Take care and bye-bye.